Have you ever watched a film and thought, wow, that shot looks amazing, but couldn't explain why? That's the magic of framing. It's not just pointing at camera, it's storytelling without a single word. Framing isn't just a technical detail, it's the foundation of visual storytelling. When you understand how to frame your shots, you unlock one of the most powerful and accessible ways to make your images look cinematic and tell stories that truly connect. As someone who works in film and broadcast, I've seen firsthand how these principles can make or break an image. And the best part, these techniques even work if all you have is your phone. Framing shapes emotion, directs attention, and can make the difference between a shot that feels amateur and one that feels like it belongs in a theater. Today we'll cover 3 things: how your background influences storytelling, why lens choice impacts framing and emotion, and key compositional guides that make your shots pop. Let's dive in. The background is more than a backdrop. It's an active part of your story. Every time you compose a shot, you're deciding what information the audience gets. For example, a character standing against a blank white wall tells almost nothing. Put that character in a cluttered dressing room with smudged mirrors, makeup scattered around, and a city skyline out the window, and suddenly we know she's a performer in an urban setting, and maybe we even sense a little chaos in her life. According to American Cinematographer, layered backgrounds can increase perceived production value by as much as 40%. That's a huge payoff for simply paying attention to what's behind your subject. And it's not just about looks, it's about the depth. When you create separation between your subject and the background, you add dimensionality and realism. Documentary filmmakers do this all the time by pulling their interview subjects away from the wall. The result? More depth, more cinematic feel, and less of that flat Zoom call vibe. So when setting up your shot, ask, what does my background tell? Because whether you realize it or not, it's already saying something. Of course, the background sets the stage, but your lens decides how much of the stage the audience sees. Your lens is like the voice of your shot. A wide-angle lens doesn't just show more of the world, it exaggerates space, making rooms feel bigger and distant feel longer. The telephoto lens, on the other hand, compresses the image, flattening the background and pulling your subject forward. This isn't just technical, it's emotional. Cinematographer Roger Deakins has often said that focal length defines visual language, and he's right. The choice between a 24mm and an 85mm isn't just math, it's about the mood. Wide lenses feel more immersive, like where you're right there in the character's world. Long lenses feel more isolating, almost voyeuristic, which can be great for tension and intimacy. So next time you're framing a close-up, think beyond can I fit it in and ask, how does this feel? Because that's what your lens is really doing, setting the emotional tone. Now that we know what's in the frame and how much of it to show, let's look at how to arrange it all. The beauty of composition is that it's flexible, but a few classic guidelines can help you make your shot more engaging. First, the classic, the rule of thirds. Imagine your frame is divided into 9 equal sections by 2 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines. Placing your subject along these lines or at the intersection creates a balance and visual energy. Viewers find the rule of third composition about 20% more engaging than a centered shot, and that's a subtle shift with a big impact. Leading lines are another favorite. These are natural or architectural lines, roads, hallways, beams, that guide the viewer's eyes towards the subject. And if you want to get fancy, try framing your subject with a frame, a doorway, a window, a mirror. This technique not only directs attention, but adds depth and layers to your image. Remember, these aren't hard rules, they're creative tools. Use them to serve your story, and don't be afraid to break them when the moment calls for it. Framing isn't just about making things look pretty, it's about telling a visual story. Today we covered 3 key ideas: how the background adds meaning, how lens choices shapes the emotion, and how compositional guidelines can instantly level up your visuals. These techniques don't require a Hollywood budget, they work with a smartphone camera too. So next time you're about to hit record, think about what your frame is saying. Because every frame tells a story, make yours cinematic. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what your framing trick is you plan to try next. Let's keep creating, let's keep telling stories one frame at a time.